I thought I would do a follow-up to my Capricorn 1 imprint review. And this video is going to be a little bit more detailed. We're going to get into the video quality, sound quality, the special features, as well as ultimately what is the best version of Capricorn 1 on physical media. And I will let you know at the end of the video of my personal choice. So just a quick recap of part one is I basically went into the packaging of the new imprint release. Beautiful packaging. Comes with two cases, one with the extended version of a Japanese film print, has about 4 minutes of extra footage, and a little bit of trimmings here and there that didn't make it into the theatrical cut. Really nothing too noticeable, but the 4 minute scene is definitely the reason why it's the extended cut, and I'll get a little bit more into that a little later on. But so I think the big thing to really take home with this is the special features. And out of all the physical releases so far, Imprint has the most special features. And I mean, it's, and it blows the other releases away, really. And right now, I have, of course, the Imprint version in the middle, the second edition DVD on your right, and the Shout Factory Blu-ray release on your left. Now, that is a library movie. I do not own it yet, but I'm including it here for comparison reasons. And yeah, so I think that we should jump right into the special features because this is a big one. And I think that this is going to make or break what version that people want to take home with them. So if you just bear with me, I'm going to make an adjustment. As this video is not edited. Okay, so I have the special features in front of me for the Imprint version of Capricorn 1. It came with a little slip here that was glued onto the back of the box. I took it off because it has a production photo on the back, and I will, just for fun, I'll show it to you again. The three astronauts, love that photo, by the way. That actually could be an actual cover photo if they wanted to use it. But so yeah, let's get into it. I'm going to start off with the theatrical cut, the Blu-ray release of Imprint. So I have not yet been able to figure out what the source is for this release. Even Shout Factory does not have anything indicating on their case of, is this a camera negative? Is this an inner positive? Is it a scan of a film print? There is no indication of what it is. So to the date of this video, I still am unaware of what the source is for the theatrical cut. Maybe in the future, if I find that out, I will post a video or update it in the description here. But with that being said, let's get into the special features, and we'll talk about the video quality shortly. So for the Imprint release, I'm going to get into a little bit more detail of the special features. Not gonna tell you everything that's going on because I don't want to spoil things for you. Last time I just kind of listed them, but I'm going to tell you maybe a couple bits about what it's about. So for the theatrical cut, we have a 1080p presentation of the film, and again, do not know what the source of it is, whether it is a 4K scan or 2K scan. There's nothing that I can find that reveals what that is. We also have the audio commentary by director Peter Hames. And we have the DVD documentary, Flights of Fancy, The Politics and Paranoia of Capricorn 1. Now, this DVD documentary came with the special edition DVD. It's the second DVD release. And the audio commentary also was on that DVD release. Both those are carried over onto the Imprint version from the DVD. So if you're asking if any of the archival featurettes are being carried over, you get those two featurettes that have been carried over onto the Blu-ray. The next one is a vintage featurette that has been upscaled in HD and is called What If? The Making of Capricorn 1. This is about a 6-minute video that goes into some of the interviews of the cast while they're making the film, the director, the crew, and yeah, there's a narration. They talk about kind of the premise of the film, of course, the conspiracy, and all that good stuff. Now I didn't talk about the other documentary, so I'll just talk about that briefly. That particular one is basically the same thing, except it's a lot newer. The What If documentary was made during the time of production, and the Politics and Paranoia of Capricorn 1 was made later on for the DVD release. Both are really good. The Politics and Paranoia documentary is about almost 20 minutes long, and it interviews the director. There's interviews from the cast and crew, and it goes into, of course, the conspiracy, and it also goes into kind of the real-life politics of, I guess you could say, the cynicism from the Nixon era, and the director basically giving his opinion on why people think the moon landing was faked, and all that. I mean, there's several reasons why people think like that, but he goes into his opinion and basically interviews some other people as well regards to that. Whether you think it's fake or not, it's an entertaining film, and one thing I noticed is a lot of people get offended at this film. They find it very offensive. And my answer to that is just relax. If you want to be entertained, you want a thrill ride, you want to have a fun time with a movie, order pizza, grab some popcorn, and watch this film, because you're going to be in for a hell of a ride. This movie is a lot of fun. Being offended is just ridiculous. It's a movie. Have fun with it. All right, so moving on. On the set of Capricorn 1, this is almost a 40-minute video restored in HD of behind the scenes of them filming the airplane scene. I will not spoil what the airplane scene is if you have not seen the film, but it's an excellent behind the scenes video of that, and there's some other things too that are peppered in there. Some other scenes related to that are in there too, kind of behind the scenes. A really nice addition to this, to see that, and especially for me, a longtime fan of this movie, who's only had the DVD for several years now. And the documentary is great, and the audio commentary is great, but to get the behind the scenes footage, especially now in HD, was really a joy to see. I'm really glad that they included this in with this release, and it's just a really cool touch, a really cool addition. We also get a photo gallery, which is really great. There's almost 100 photos on there. And yeah, now I will be comparing special features very shortly to the Shout Factory one in just a minute. But the photo gallery for this is very extensive. You get production photos, you get behind the scenes photos, you get poster photos. It goes on and on and on. Photos of the actors and the crew. Like, this photo gallery is just jam-packed. Like I said, almost 100 photos to look at, all restored in HD. So yeah, and film posters from around the world as well. Some really good stuff there. And of course, we have the theatrical trailer in HD. And yeah, so all of that is included in the theatrical physical edition of the Imprint version. But wait, there's more. So on top of that, you get the extended version, and this has more special features. So not only do you get the extended version with 4 minutes of extra footage, I'm not going to tell you what that footage is because I don't want to spoil it and ruin it for you. Because the one thing I hate is spoilers. And I'm not going to tell you what it is, but there is 4 extra minutes of footage in the film. It is one long scene that's approximately 4 minutes long. That is a bonus, basically, that was taken out in the theatrical cut. I understand why it was taken out for pacing reasons. But there's a bit in there that I actually really like, and it actually would have been nice if they had left it in. But comparing the two, the theatrical and the extended edition, honestly, I would take the theatrical. I feel like as far as pacing, it is just very fast paced. And even though that I like the scene for what it was, I feel like it just slows the movie down a bit. And I can understand why it was taken out. Let's put it that way. But it's fun to have it there, and I am including the extended edition as a extra feature. That's why I'm talking about it right now. As a bonus feature, as a special feature, because because it's an extra that's included in with a set. So I think it's really cool that they did that. It is as far as I can tell, it is a 2K scan of a Japanese film print. It is a Japanese version with it, and there are Japanese logos in the beginning. There are no Japanese subtitles, so they must have, I don't know whether they took them out or they had like an English version in Japan. I really don't know, but as far as I can tell, this is a 2K scan of a Japanese film print itself. And the reason why I say that, of course, I don't know 100%, but I have 2K scans of film prints, and this looks almost identical to that, and it just doesn't seem as crisp as a negative. And that's why the theatrical cut is confusing me quite a bit, because it looks to me that it's either an inner positive or it's a film print for the theatrical cut, because I feel like the crispness for the theatrical cut is just not there. Either that or they've obviously put it through an AI cleanup program. And also there's a theory out there that they use different lenses for different scenes, and that would probably explain why some scenes are very soft looking and blurry, and other scenes are very sharp. I don't know for sure, but that seems to be a theory that's out there. Regardless, even if that's true, they did use an AI program to clean up the film, because the Japanese film print, it's just a blizzard through the whole thing, like blizzard of grain. Now, I love grain, but I don't love a blizzard. I love a nice fine layer of grain because grain gives detail. And, so I want there to be grain in it. And even though that I'm probably one of the very few that actually love James Cameron's restoration of Aliens on 4K. I think it looks amazing, but there are some scenes where people look like plastic. They look like they have plastic faces, and I don't think there's an ounce of grain on that film or on that 4K. This has a fine layer of grain on the theatrical cut, and that's the way I like it. But yeah, the extended edition, it's just a blizzard of grain that they've got on there. So there was no restoration for that. They basically just raw scanned a film print. That's basically what they did, and then slapped it on the Blu-ray. Now, with the special features continuing, we do get an audio commentary with the extended edition. And this audio commentary is done by film historian and filmmaker Daniel Creamer.